Wagwan, my people. Quick thing before we kick off. The views where you hear upon the Father to Father podcast, them strictly. The hosts, guests, and contributors. Them now represent Catholic Notebook, Spirit Stream Studios, the diocese, university, or any affiliated groups, you see me? And remember, this podcast is strictly for adult ears, so listen up with discretion.
Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet. A place for the soul, where wisdom speaks. Hope in the message, strength in the beat. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, what's cracking?
Yo, okay, so listen, I'm Dr. Giovanni, and with me is my right hand, my main man,
Father Greg Lambert.
Hey, welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. It is what it is. I gotta start saying
birds,
stuff.
cats.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. We actually got this email that said this lady put us on for her parrot because her parrot was struggling sleeping, and so.
Okay.
They took one of your segments, like this was like the theology moment where I was like, enlighten me, and then she put you on for the bird, so the bird could fall asleep and feel more relaxed.
How scary would it be if one day I do like a house call to someone's, just to go visit them, see how they are, anoint them, and their bird sounds exactly like me?
And they say the thing that you were saying before, just like, hey, let me put it to you this way.
That's a good question. That's an honest question. Let's put it like this.
It's like you go to the bird and you're like, oh, you little bird, how's it going? That's a good question. That's an honest question. Let me put it to you this way. When Jesus, like
in
what?
a dark room somewhere, this is calling out, sounding like me. That
would be nuts. That'd be nuts. But you know what? Let's do this. You know how like we've been trying out new segments in the intros and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And if it sticks, we'll make a full segment out of it. Well, our listeners sent us would you rather's because they want to know whether or not we would do the things. They're just like, yo, we'd like to hear your thoughts on these would you rather's. Now, mind you, Father Greg, our research team, the Catholic Notebook research team, did a hellaciously good job. And like I usually say yeoman's work, but I'm trying to back off of yeoman's work. They did a great job by reducing some of the ones that are not appropriate for us.
Yep. I remember a couple of these meetings. You're right.
This is a lot. This is a lot. So
thank God.
Here's the things. This one's coming from Chicago.
Chateau?
Yeah. Apparently they also put like their location. So this was at 3:02 a.m. Waffle House booth.
Ooh. We're starting with violence?
Yeah, it's 3:02 a.m. Would you rather? It says, Dr. Gio, Father Greg, would you rather? But I'm just going to say, would you rather? Would you rather have the power to read minds, but every time you do, you hear a deep, unhinged, intrusive thought from that person that you can never forget? Or completely unable to read minds, but once a year for 24 hours, you hear everything, everyone's thoughts at full volume like it's a crowded stadium?
Oh, the first option for sure. No issues. No issues. And I'll tell you why. Because I read these letters later on.
Yeah.
And I've read our fan letters and the feedback that we get from people. We love you all so much.
Yeah.
There's a good percentage of you, a real good percentage of you, who are just set in love and support, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. But then there's another percentage of you that are unhinged and need help. Mm-hmm. Like, legit, like we can help you somewhat, but we ain't here to do the deep work. That's why you have therapists. That's why you have counselors. That's why you have priests that are in your local diocese. Go talk to somebody. Touch grass.
Yes. Or Jesus Christ himself. I have seen things that I can't unsee. I've heard things that I can't unsee. And we're not even talking to the fans now. We can go out to the broader aspect of just being a priest and being in that position where you're listening to people. I love what I do. I love my vocation. That being said, you will hear things and you will experience things that you can't you can't unsee and you can't forget. Like, I'm talking about demons and spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people's confessions that they haven't had for 30, 40, 50 years, which are beautiful. But you also, every now and again, you hear stuff that makes you test your own moral certitude. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I think I would be okay with hearing people's unhinged thoughts because I hear them for free today.
Yeah, and honestly, the unhinged thought, like what I can think of a lot of things where I'm just like, that's it, because I've heard so much. Like when I used to be a counselor, and now just teaching people and stuff like that, it's like I've heard so much that I'm sitting there going like, what's your problem? People go like, you would be scandalized if you knew, and I'm like, that's it.
There's a really good chance that you're not much different than the person that's going to come after you, or as this just became before you.
Facts.
That's just a reality situation.
Here's the next one. This one's coming from Orlando. Apparently, they were in some theme park, and we can't say the name of the theme park, otherwise we'll get sued.
Yeah, makes sense. Don't want to do that again.
Would you rather have super speed, but every time you use it, one random person somewhere in the world trips and eats absolute concrete face first? Or normal speed, but once a year you get 10 minutes of god tier speed with no consequences. And you always waste half of it deciding what to do.
I mean, if I know it's coming, don't worry. I'm not going to waste time.
There's no waffling. If I know once a year I get god tier speed, I can go anywhere, do anything with god tier speed. That means I'm in my head right now. I'm thinking about the Flash.
Yeah.
So then I'm entering the Speedverse. I forgot what the
Speed Force.
Speed Force. I'm entering the Speed Force. Excuse me. I'm entering the Speed Force.
You gotta watch movies.
Hey, whatever. Or read comic books. I haven't read comic books in a long
Don't
time.
watch the Flash movie. It was terrible.
Yeah, but the comics are great.
No, they're great. They're fantastic.
So enter the Speed Force, right? Lecture. Also, the different colors of the Speed Force dictate certain things, which we ain't gonna get into right now. But it is what it is. Anyways,
Say something.
you better not put the shoes on. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I get to, right? So you get into it and you're just like, okay, I'm in the Speed Force. I can do anything in the Speed Force. Going fast in the speed of light for 10 minutes. There's a lot of things I do. There's a lot of things. I'm not gonna even enumerate the things I do on the show right now, but I'm stuttering just because I'm trying to catch myself because there's things I'm thinking about right now. I'm like, I do that. Hands down, I'll do that. Ain't no way. Yo, I would go to Italy and have a pizza because they have gluten-free pizzas in Italy, and it's dietary compliant for me. Like, yeah, I
literally just came back from doing that.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
It's delicious, ain't it? Mm-hmm. What would you do? Like, if you had that, like, which one would you rather do? The 10 minutes or like, I honestly, I would have the first one.
I would have the first one too.
I'd have the first one because it's a random person that eats concrete every time I use it. Okay,
People trip and fall all the time.
and if they have to eat concrete, you'll eat it for the gregreater good. It's
Dude,
fine.
that's why toddlers are bouncy. God made them bouncy because he's like, yo, you're gonna fall a lot.
Say that.
It totally are.
I don't.
they're gonna fall and they're gonna get back up. It's fine. If an adult, I will give you an example. Your daughter, right, Claire. I remember I was babysitting her one day. There was nobody else in the house, and she was watching her little iPad thing. And she's walking. She's locked in on it, and she doesn't decide to sit down in the middle of the hallway. She decides to drop. Like, her legs went out from under her, and she dropped to her knees. And didn't even break a sweat, didn't blink, nothing. It was just completely normal because she's good. She's got those good baby knees. Like, because babies don't even have knees. They don't got the kneecaps that are all the way formed.
That's true.
Let me do something like that.
Dog, it's game over.
2 to 3 business days is gonna take me to get back up.
It's game over.
You have to keep me there. Dog.
It's game over. Dog, okay, sure. All right, so hey, you ready to get started, man?
Always.
I feel like this was good.
No, for sure.
Maybe we might even just do a segment about it. This is pretty good.
Okay.
All right.
Yo, Father Greg, Dr. G, what's good? I know it sounds clear, I know it's misunderstood. The story's wild, yes, out there, no doubt, but just lean in close, just hear me out.
You ready for some Hear Me Outs?
I think so.
You already know what it is. Hear Me Out. It's 5 stars, you did nothing wrong. 1 star, got confessions on Thursdays. If you're a church doing confession on Thursdays, let us know. Capital.org/follow the Father, capital.org/.
F2F.
All right, but hear me out. I didn't cheat. I just stopped saying no.
Huh?
I didn't cheat. I just stopped saying no. Hey, fellas. Hi, Father Greg.
Why'd you say it like that? It's a type.
Because
it's typed. You
it's
didn't need to say it that way.
typed with an emoji. What do you want me to do?
Oh no, there definitely is an emoji with hearts.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I said it that way.
Hi back. I don't know.
It's like, so hi, fellas. Hi, Father Greg. My name is Avery. First time confessor. I've been listening since I found you guys in June last year and literally binged everything. Like everything. Everywhere I went. Driving, cleaning, getting ready, all of it.
Oh, thanks for the support.
Also, thank you for dropping episodes on a schedule now because there was a minute where it was a little creative.
I told you we need consistency.
But that's okay. Growth. What? Yo, I ain't gonna get shade for this. It's not my fault. Hey, yo, we had new editors. This is all it is. Okay, so here's my situation. I've always been intentional with my energy. Like, I don't just say yes to things because people ask. I protect my time. So if someone invited me somewhere I didn't feel like going, I just say no. Clean, simple, no confusion. My friend, especially my best friend, Tiana, kept saying I was shutting down experiences and not letting people get to know me, which I didn't fully agree with, but I could see where she was coming from. Then I started dating Malik, and he was very much a say yes to life type of person. So he tells me, you know, you don't have to say yes to everything, but don't stop automatically saying no. Just be open. And I was like, okay, that actually makes sense. So I made a conscious effort to be more available. So when guys would ask me out, instead of saying no, I'd just be like, sure.
I'm glad somebody else is gonna have to deal with this. That's not what I meant to say. That's not what I meant. I'm glad somebody else gets it.
She just said sure. Neutral, open. Same thing with people inviting me places. I'm not gonna lie, I got busy, super busy. 1 minute I'm grabbing coffee, the next minute I'm sitting at a bonfire with no shirt on, the next minute I'm playing soccer with people I just met, the next minute I'm putting my shirt back on at 3 a.m. because we stayed out too late. Life was just flowing. Okay.
Sure. Cool.
1 minute I'm doing my nails. The next minute I'm at Jared's place at 2 in the afternoon because I overslept. Then I'm at brunch. Then I'm on a rooftop. Then I'm at home like nothing ever happened. It was just kind of blended. It was just a full schedule. And I'm not going to lie, it was fun. Like really fun. And now I understand what my girlfriend was talking about. She had fun and now I'm having fun. I finally understood what Malik said when we first met about putting myself out there. I felt more social. I felt more interesting. Dare I say, I felt more alive. Oh. Then last week happens, and now I'm confused. Malik comes over, and Jordan is on the couch, shirt off, just relaxing because we had been hanging out earlier and lost track of time. Malik stops in the door and goes, "What is this?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? We're just here." He's like, "Why is he here like that?" And I said very calmly, "Well, you told me not to say no and to be open to new experiences."
Oh.
And he said, "I thought you were going to do pottery or something." Which, okay, that feels a little limiting. And he didn't clearly articulate that in his previous communication. So now he's at his mom's house, says he needs a few days to think. And honestly, I'm more confused now than ever because from my perspective, I did exactly what he encouraged. I opened up. I stopped shutting people down. I engaged in life more. And now somehow that turned into a problem.
Yeah.
But hear me out.
Directly,
I didn't
yes.
cheat. I just stopped saying no. Do you need a recap?
I guess.
All right, so here's the thing. I can't even say it with a straight face. Like, basically, TLDR, she just sat there and said, listen, I usually say no to everybody. I am very selective and picky. Then my new boyfriend said, you know what? After my girlfriend told me I'm cutting myself off, my boyfriend told me, hey, why don't you just try things? Because I see him having a lot of fun, open to life experiences. I want to have life experience. So I said, fine. I'm not going to say no more. I'm just going to be neutral. Sure. And then I just started doing things. Bonfires, like leaving people's houses at 3 a.m., all this other stuff. And then having people over and they shirtless on my couch. And that's fine because we were just having so much fun before you got here. And now you're trying to piece it together. And Malik is like, what are you? I met a pottery class. Who in the right mind would have took it to this conclusion? I said, that's kind of limiting. Like, what? You should have been more specific with how you were giving me advice, sir. You want to take this?
Not really.
You want her to misquote you too?
Man, okay. Well, long and short of it is you definitely went too far on the advice that was given. But also, can we just go ahead and state for the whole populace that being selective with your time and being selective with people that you're around is not a bad thing?
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing. I think from my perspective, though, like what she was doing was kind of like the same thing that we try to warn parents about a lot of times, where if you tell your kid, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do it, like you can't do this until X, you can't do this until X, you can't do this until X.
Yeah.
And then they get to X point in their life, they're going to be like an ant in a sugar packet.
Yeah.
They're not going to know what to do, and they're just going to overdose on everything.
Yes.
And so I think that's the situation she kind of found herself in. She was just an ant in a Splenda packet. Just like, there's just so much sugar here. Mm-hmm. I don't know which sugar to actually take and what to take home. Should I eat some of this? Should I not? And she's just rolling around in sugar, and then goes back to the ant hole, and the ant's like, where's the sugar? We smell it on you, Philip. And you're like, I don't know.
And they'll never believe you.
Yeah, and they'll never believe you again. But I mean, like, that's basically the situation she found herself in.
Dang.
Like she did too much too quickly and didn't really like stop and think about like what that actually meant.
Yeah, and I can tell that because Buddy came home and was like, "What's going on?" So you know that she didn't tell. She didn't tell him any of the escapades.
She's just keeping it to herself.
She's been having the secret life of Walter Mitty, just going through life.
Yo, and she's just sitting there going, the thing that gets me, she's like, yeah, I was a bonfire with my shirt off. And then she pivots to like, yeah, and then I'm leaving this dude's house at 3 a.m. because like, I'm like, what? At what point do we just like, hey, reality needs to seep back in here? And I think reality came at her fast when her boyfriend's like, I thought you were going to do a pottery class or something.
That seems limiting.
That's you should have talked about that limitation beforehand.
Exactly.
Why are we being legalistic all of a sudden?
We're not being. We're just being rational. Like this isn't okay,
dog. So here's the thing: you have her. She comes to your office and he goes, "I don't understand why everybody is freaking out here." What is the approach that you take with someone like that?
Oh, well, okay, that's pretty easy. You just go with prudence. Because I would look at her and say, would you really say yes to everything? And she's probably going to say, if she is really deep within this, she's going to say yes. And the next question is, so there's nothing that you'll say no to? That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Nothing you'll say no to?
Well, you got to say no to something.
You're only going to say yes to the things that sound fun to you. You're only saying yes to the things that you feel like you can stomach. You're only going to say yes to the things that you feel like it's going to benefit you. If we're start talking about largely illegal or immoral things, all of a sudden it's like, I don't really want to do that. Oh, I thought it wasn't about want. I thought it was just about saying yes. So now you're going to drive this car across Mexico with a couple of things in the trunk that you're not supposed to open. Like, that's not good. That's not good.
Hey, take this package. and just sit on it for 2 days for me.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Just hold the package. Don't open the box.
Don't open the box. Just hold it.
Whatever you do, don't open the box.
That's terrifying.
That's incredibly terrifying. But there's people in this world who find themselves in situations simply because they said yes to the wrong question.
Facts.
I think she's in a place of like she's in like this false awakening. Like, I got free will. Like, she just discovered free will, and now she's going through life gallivanting.
Or she struggles with like self-control. Like, because if you look at it, it's an all or nothing summation for her.
Maybe.
Like, it's I have to say no, like flat out no, because I cannot handle any ambiguous space. Because once it's ambiguous, I can't control myself. It's not so much that you can't control yourself, but it's this notion that you tell yourself, I don't have control in ambiguous space, so I'm just going to go with whatever happens. And that terrifies me, so I have to say no because I don't trust myself with ambiguity.
That's a possibility.
Temptation's too high.
Is temptation too high in everything that you do?
For some people, they look at it that way. It's not that that's the reality. It's just they look at it that way. So it's just a thought. It could be one or two things. Either way, for me, you're getting a 2. Like, yeah. I'm stuck between 2 and 3. You can convince me of a 3, but like in all actuality, for me, like the fact that he didn't know coming in and he just stops in his tracks and goes, "What are you doing?"
I agree. The fact that he didn't know, that's significant, but also her reaction,
legalistic to the max.
I legitimately think that she didn't know either, which is crazy. It's crazy, really. But if she didn't know either, then she's not as culpable.
Facts. Because if she's taking it literally,
yes, which most people wouldn't. But if she's
taking it literally, which by all indications she was, then she's in that moment going like, I really don't understand what's going on. Like, I'm literally doing what you said.
Yeah, she gets a 3.
Yeah, all right. You can convince me of a 3. Yeah, I'll give her a 3. Let us know. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? CatholicNoble.org/follow the father. CatholicNoble.org/F2F. That was tough.
Yo, Father Greg, Dr. G, what's good? I know it sounds clear, I know it's misunderstood. The story's wild, yeah, it's out there, no doubt. But just lean in close, just hear me out. Hear me.
Back when I needed a man, all I got handed was traps. Said, boy, go be great, but gave me no pass, so I bled from the faith I know I still had. Good advice don't come cheap. Real ones ran wisdom, don't tweet. Now I walk through the dark trying not to repeat the same fake love that they handed to me. They come to me now like I know the route. Big bro, what's the play? Can you help me out? And I tried not to laugh, but I see myself back when I was broke, begging somebody else. Ain't no manual for this, just pressure and heat. You get burnt by the ones that you thought brought peace. Told my little man, don't believe what you see. Even angels fall hard when they run in the
it's time
street.
for fatherly advice. you already know what it is. It's fatherly advice. Catholic Noble Research Team did their 1-2 things, kind of grouped together. We have a lot that are from parents and things like that. This is just us giving you our advice because you asked for it. Also, I'm not going to say, dear Father Greg and Dr. Gio. It is assumed. Just know that. Just know that. This one comes from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I went grocery shopping with my roommate and we split up to grab different things. I picked up snacks, drinks, random stuff. When we got back together, she looked at the cart and goes, "You don't even like half of these things." And I laughed it off, but she was right. Everything in my cart was stuff that I've seen other people buy before. Stuff that I thought I was supposed to like. Stuff that felt safe to pick. I couldn't even remember the last time I chose something just because I wanted to. It was like I was curating a version of myself that made sense to other people. And now that I'm sitting here in the checkout line thinking about it, if I don't trust myself to choose what to eat, what else in my life am I choosing based on who I think will be disappointed or whose approval I think I would garner in order to be deemed a good Catholic woman?
I feel the same way about people who drink kombucha. That's plain juice. It's not even. I'm telling you right now. Like,
Yo, Father Greg hates kombucha.
no, I tried it one time in Chicago on our weekend trip. That
it was spicy for no reason.
I know that bartender was looking at me like with a dirty look. I'm like, you ordered this. Why did you? Why are you grimacing?
Yo, the fact that you had to tell the bartender, listen, he ordered it. I drank it because he's the one that ordered it for two of us. He said 2 kombuchas. I didn't even want the kombucha. I don't even know what it is. Come to find out, it's bacteria. It's SCOGI.
My goodness.
It's like a living organism. It's called a SCOGI.
That makes things so much worse.
Do you know that like people make the SCOGI and then sell the SCOGI to other people?
I heard about that actually. I saw that on a documentary.
It's a whole marketplace
Against my will.
Yeah. But all right, for real. So like, I'll give you runway. Like, what you think?
Okay. Well, this is actually really good. As an individual, like as a young man growing up, I'm gonna touch you know right now. Like I went to seminary right out of high school, so I graduated high school and then went directly to seminary, and so I never had, per se, the colloquial way of saying the college experience. And what I mean that I mean it's like living in a dorm and stuff, like
right.
in a secular environment with random roommates and stuff like that. I had that in seminary, but it was much different, a lot more sterilized, and a little bit more militarized too. Not militarized like in a bad way, but like it's you know, like
it's uniform.
It's uniform. Is what I mean to say. Sorry, uniform in a more uniform way. So all that is to say, I remember particularly for the first time in my entire life having a little bit of money in my pocket, not much, like $150 a month, and going to the Walmart down the street, and picking up sweets. Because in my household growing up, I couldn't pick the cookies or the cakes or anything like that. And it was put on a budget. Like, first of all, I don't know how much money you got that you can go ahead and buy things from the store that you don't want. Like that's crazy to me. Like, personally, that's crazy to me. Like, you're not going to eat it and you don't like it, so you bought it. I don't get it.
I don't live that type of lifestyle, dog. I don't live that
That's
type
a
of
real
lifestyle.
flex. That's real balling.
I feel like she was just flexing for the sake of flexing. Like, yeah, I didn't even like these things. And I bought
yeah, I got quinoa. I'm like, do you even like quinoa? No, but I have it in my house always. Like, that dog, what? Whole Foods?
I had a chick who, like, this was my homegirl. She bought $55 of different types of lentils.
Wow.
Green lentils, yellow lentils, green lentils, like a blue. You know there's blue lentils?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it was like purple almost.
Maybe like in India.
Red lentils. I think it's called dal in India or something like that. But basically it's like just vibrant color lentils. And I told her, like, do you eat this? She's like, no. I'm like, why do you have it? She's like, I don't know.
That sounds like counseling. That sounds like therapy,
someone told
dog.
me a long time ago that if I ever feel hungry, I just cook some lentils and add seasonings to it. But I don't even know how to season this. And I was like, okay. I made her a plate of lentils. She cried, dog. And not because it was like so intense. All it was just like curry, some spices, coconut milk, things like that. Salt, pepper, curry, paprika, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then she cried. And she's just like, I spent all these years collecting lentils and I didn't know they could taste this good.
There's a homily there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Anyways, my bad. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is, like, yo, you asked a really good question. You asked one of the best questions you possibly could. Like, it's a question that's centered around your decision making and figuring out what exactly it is that you want from your decision making. You are deciding at a very basic level, at a concrete level, what do I want in my house? What do I want to feed myself? What do I like? And then you keep on getting deeper with that. What kind of meals do I want? The same way you're committing to putting together a meal and things that you're going to plan for the future, it's the same way with making decisions for your life. You're taking pieces of things that are important to you and you're putting it together, and you're going to put some ingredients together and you're going to put that on a plate and say, this is my plan forward. It may not always work. Sometimes you might mess up the recipe, but you live and you learn. Yeah. How you find out that you want to put sliced tomatoes on something and not ketchup? You just got to figure that out.
Yeah. And you have to be okay with failing.
Yeah. And that's
you gotta
okay.
be okay with failing. Because, like, I'm going to tell you this for free. Listen, growing up in an ethnic household, there is no room for failure when it comes to food. Nope. Because we ain't out here trying to waste food.
Nah, because you wasted food, you wasted money, and you wasted my time.
Right. So if you made something that wasn't okay, you have to eat all of it.
Yeah.
Case in point, Chris decided he was going to experiment with rice and he boiled the rice in vanilla extract. He made alcoholic rice because it didn't the vodka in the vanilla didn't burn all the way through. He had high quality vanilla, like the vanilla bean was still in it, and it was like alcohol in the thing. That's how vanilla bean is made. You just take vanilla beans, put it inside. You open them up, put them inside of a jar, and then you permeate it with some type of liquid. So it's vodka, or some people put bourbon, but it's some type of alcohol, and it just ferments. That's how you get vanilla. So he bought like an actual glass jar of vanilla and used that to cook rice. It was bad.
I can only imagine.
I had half a spoon. I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's okay, I'll eat it. It took him 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
But Mom's was like, nah, you're not going to throw this away. You're going to eat this. Did he ever put vanilla in rice again? Nope.
Life skills.
That's what it is. And that's what you got to be okay with failing. You got to be okay with failing.
What's for dinner tonight, Mom? Life skills. What?
You still got that vanilla rice. What possessed you to put that in there? I don't know. I was trying something. This one comes from Nashville, Tennessee. I was at a wedding. Open bar, country music, drinks flowing, feeling great, having a great time. I don't even dance, and I was barefoot on the dance floor, just having people hype me up.
Hey, you go.
I'm not gonna lie, I leaned into it hard, full white girl dancing. But
good for you.
Later that night, I saw a video someone posted, and I didn't even recognize myself.
Oh.
I looked like a completely different person. Loud, bigger, more confident than I've ever felt most of the time. And I couldn't tell if that version of me was the real me or if I just became what the room needed in that moment. So now I'm sitting here wondering if I can turn into whatever fits the situation. Do I actually know who I am? Or am I just really good at changing to the vibe of the room?
Oh. Does the chameleon have a base color?
The answer is yes.
Yeah. In order to be able to change to what's going on in the room, that's a decision. But you got to have an at-rest emotional property. You got to have an at-rest personality. And you got to have the wherewithal and the prudence to know and read the room. You can't read the room without knowing who you are.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, what do you as the counselor?
Well,
what do you?
Here's the problem that I have with this, because I'm thinking about this in two modes. The first mode I'm thinking about this is just on a basic level of like you're overthinking a positive situation. You had you had fun, and it was not fun in the sense of you had to put yourself in danger in order to do it. You didn't bring yourself outside of who you were. Like this,
right.
There's this weird notion of people constantly saying like, oh, you got to get out of your comfort zone. I fundamentally disagree with that, because if you're not in your comfort zone, you're not going to be able to do the things that you need to do. It's this notion, what people mean by, what they actually mean when they say get out of your comfort zone is, hey, do the things that you're good at and push yourself in your strengths.
Like expand your comfort zone?
Utilize your actual strengths. That's what they're telling you. Because like, if you think about it, I will not do something that's not in my comfort zone. And if I'm telling someone to do something that they fundamentally is not in a thing that they even have a baseline for, I'm setting them up for failure. And they are adverse to that. However, if I'm sitting there going, I need to really identify my strengths, and in this case, effectively expand what my comfort zone looks like in various different situations, then that is what we're telling people to do, not so much, oh, just do things that are outside of your comfort zone. Here's a clear-cut example of this, because that's a whole bunch of abstract. If I'm really good at writing papers, like really good at writing speeches and things like that, right? I should explore writing other things.
Yeah.
that would be expanding my comfort zone and expanding myself to new things. But I shouldn't be looking at public speaking. If I don't have the skill set for public speaking, I'm just putting myself in very intense situations, jacking up my anxiety to do absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying now.
But if I'm a writer, well, I can write different types of books. I can write different types of stories. I can write different. If I only do speeches, I can do stories now. And that's expanding my horizon.
Yeah.
But I'm still in my comfort zone of writing. But this notion of like, you should just do something outside of what you are good at is ridiculous. And that's what sets people's up for failure. But it sounds really good though. Oh, jump outside of your comfort zone and you'll grow. Because that's not how you grow. Even on a basic body level, that's not how you grow. If you want bigger muscles, you need rest.
Yeah, that's true.
Which means that you are comfortable again. As your body adjusts to all the extraneous things that you did prior
And
to you feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Like that is the situation here. And so it's just, so on a primary level, I'm like, you need to disabuse yourself of that notion of you have to get out of your comfort zone. That's the first part. The second part, and I think this is the more crucial part of it, what you saw was an aspect of who you are. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as I'm not being who I am in this moment.
Yeah.
You have different sides of yourself. It's called eco-clicking. Certain people do it very easily. Other people, it takes a lot to get them to shift. This notion that you are the exact same person in every single situation is a fundamental lie. You just can't be.
Nope.
There's just no way for you to be.
Nope.
Now, do you structurally change? No. You'll still be whatever your baseline is, but there are certain things you don't tell to this group of people because it's not going to do any good for you. And there's things you tell to this group of people that you wouldn't tell to that group of people. There's certain ways you act in this group that you wouldn't act in the other group. Mm-hmm. That's not you being disingenuous, but that's you recognizing the situation for what it is.
Yeah.
A case point example. The Catholic Church says don't miss church on Sundays.
Yes.
I was with a young group of like young professionals, all Catholic, right? And they were talking about like, yeah, sometimes I don't go to church and all that stuff, blah, 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 right? And they said like, oh, Dr. Gio, do you go to church? I'm like, every Sunday. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah. And so why don't you get to church? And they talk about all this other stuff, and then we just kind of move on. Now, did I chastise them for not going to church on Sundays? Did I enter into a theological debate with them? No. You know why? Because a majority of them don't have basic catechesis. Mm-hmm. They were saying things earlier in the conversation where they're like, yeah, because the Catholic Church is all about exclusionary practices when it comes to the LGBT community.
Like,
and I'm like,
what?
That's not true. But
that's
like,
not even remotely true.
Right. But like, if I go to that group and I say, hey, everybody should be coming to church every single week, that's not going to do anything.
Nope.
But you know what? I just said, yeah, I go to church every Sunday. After that meeting, there was a dude that came up to me and was like, hey, yo, why do you go every Sunday? I'm like, because that's what the church says. Like, if you in order to be Catholic, you got to go to church every Sunday.
Yes.
And they're like, what? I thought it was just holy days. Sunday is a holy day. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday. But that was a side conversation based on what I said previously.
That's evangelization.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
On the flip side of it, I was with a group of priests, and I was just like, someone said something off color. Oh, yeah, follow the wisdom of older priests. I'm like, that is a fundamental lie from a demon somewhere. Because I'm sorry, old priests don't have wisdom just because they got gray hair.
That's true.
Truth doesn't care about your age. And then they're like, what? I'm like, show me the theological virtue behind what you just said.
Yes.
Completely different energy, but I'm the same person. Is being that's what prudence looks like. Yeah. Being able to understand the environment that you're in. And that's all I'm saying. I know that was a long-winded answer, but from my perspective, that's where I'm sitting with it.
In closing, I'm happy that you had a good time.
Facts!
I love that you had a good time.
For you.
Exactly.
You should be cutting it loose. White girl dancing more often. You sounds like you had fun.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you this right now. I have been known to bust a move at certain situations, but certain situations. So you're never going to catch me going down the aisle being like, yo, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Hey yo, what up, party people? I'm the main celebrant, your meticulous, ridiculous, conscientious shepherd. And they call me Father Greg.
No, I just want y'all to know this is Mass in Ordinary Time.
Sounds like you got a drinking problem.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I don't.
really does. It really does. Let's do this in the name of the Father, Son, Holy.
This get real bad real quick. Real quick.
Goodness gracious. Yo, let's get out of here.
For advice
Yes,
and
please.
they laugh at you or worse. They give it with strings attached. I learned some people don't help to help, they help to hold you. So be careful who speaks over your soul, cause not every God told me came from God. Not every I got you means you're safe. Some just wanna wear your story like a chain. Good advice is a treasure map buried in pain. Real truth ain't loud, it don't chase fame. Now I write what I needed, tattooed in flame for the next lost soul walking out of that rain.
So the Catholic Open Research Team did their 1-2 thing, man. They went ahead and they talked to priests and they asked the basic question. It's the Mad Libs thing again. They said, "Hey, can you? How do you know it's going to be one of those days? It's going to be one of those days if you ... If this happens, right?" So we just gonna get their responses and we gonna figure it out from there. They're like, "Hey," they asked priests around the United States, "How do you know it's gonna be one of those days?" I unlocked the church at 6:15 a.m. Saw 3 people already waiting outside, one holding a casserole dish, and I said to myself, "Yeah, it's gonna be one of those days." First confession of the day. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned, and also I brought documentation.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever brought documentation to my confession before, dog.
I mean, it is what it is. Some people are just like, listen.
I need you to know I'm not crazy, Father Greg. What? I didn't even say anything yet.
I checked my voicemail. 1 wedding canceled. 2 funerals added to my schedule.
Ooh.
And a message that just said, "Call me back. It's urgent." But but there was no name, no context. Are they okay? Yo, I walked into the sacristy and the candle rack was already half empty and nobody knew why. And one of them had teeth marks on it. Like someone had bit the main candle. That was the Easter candle that was bitten in half.
Yo, that's a deep jump. You know how big an Easter candle is?
I know.
That thing thick.
I didn't ask questions. I didn't want answers.
Oh, okay. Eddie.
Yo, could you imagine you walked in, candle's gone. Like half the candle's gone. Everybody's scrambling. Where are we gonna get a candle? You turn, you see the Easter candle bitten in half. Like someone took a chomp out of the Easter candle.
Dog, I would turn to a whole first grade teacher and I would put it at the front of the altar and we all gonna look at it together. We're all gonna look at it together. And for the rest of Lent, we're gonna look at it together so this never happens again.
Like who did this?
Someone did it.
Why?
Like the next thing is I would straight up lie and be like, "Listen, I'm gonna take this down to the police station and they gonna do DNA testing on the incisors and we gonna find."
You know, actually, you could do that.
You could do that.
You could take it down to the police station.
You
and
can
do all
absolutely do
that.
that. Put the fear of God in somebody.
And someone says, "I did it! I did! I'm so sorry. I had an intrusive thought. I said, what if it was a giant ice cream pop that we stare at every year?" And so I bit into it. It's wax. I can confirm it's wax. My secretary opened with, "So don't panic."
That's a dog. That is a real fear. I just got the goosebumps. I heard "don't panic" because your secretary, if your secretary is in your parish, your secretary does everything flies through her. Everything runs through her. So she has seen a lot of stuff. If she said "don't panic," this is DEFCON whatever.
Can I ask you a question? Maybe you can answer this. Why is it that at your local Catholic church, Little C, it's never a male secretary, but then when you move up the ranks, it's a male secretary? What's that about? Because I've never been to a parish and been like, the secretary here is a guy. It's never been that way. But I've been to very, like, in high situations, in, like, cardinals' offices, in, like, archbishops' offices, like, high-ranking archbishops.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a male secretary.
That's for protection.
What happened?
That's for protection.
But we ain't doing protection at the basic level? We're just like, yo, fend for yourself?
Man, they out here eating bad casseroles. They don't. Ain't nobody trying to.
Ain't nobody trying to ruin your career?
Ain't nobody trying to ruin your career.
Who are you?
But if you're wearing certain colors and you're making decisions for an entire state line, for an entire region, yeah, someone was willing to take that shot and sink your ship simply because they don't like you.
That's fair. That's fair. That's probably why they don't got female secretaries.
That's probably why.
Because the higher up you go, even the Pope don't got a female secretary.
He couldn't.
Pope
He couldn't.
Francis had a female counselor, and by counselor I mean like just a person that he confided in, and not like an actual mental health counselor or anything like that. It was just like a legal counselor type of thing. It's oh yeah, I'm the counsel to the Pope, like the counsel to the president isn't really a lawyer. It's just kind of like, yo, I'm here for you.
That's exactly it, and everybody needs that. Like it would just what that would look like for me is me walking into a room saying, am I wild?
Like, yeah. To be fair, that's pretty much it.
That's it. That's all it is. That's all that I need.
That's pretty much it. That was a good show, ain't
it? Yeah.
Hey, from all of us here at Catholic Notebook Spirit Stream Studios, we love you. You're very special.
Go forth and bear good fruit.
We out.
Father to Father is a production of Spirit Stream Studios. All rights reserved.